If Earth had only a few days left, would your survival plan be brave, scientific, and organized? Or would you spend the first hour checking if the Wi-Fi still works, then blaming the router like the apocalypse politely waited for tech support to arrive with a tiny flashing box nearby? That sounds silly, but it reveals something serious. End-of-the-world stories usually focus on fireballs, oceans, earthquakes, and heroic people running in slow motion. But the real mystery is quieter. When the world becomes strange, what happens inside the human mind, and which version of humanity reacts better under pressure first? At first, modern humans look unbeatable. We have satellites, hospitals, engines, maps, bottled water, weather models, canned food, antibiotics, solar panels, and people online who can turn any disaster into a checklist with 17 steps and a thumbnail of someone pointing at a backpack with suspicious confidence during total chaos. Ancient humans had none of that. No electricity, no emergency alerts, no medicine cabinet, no freezer full of food they forgot buying. They had stone tools, fire, animal skins, memory, sharp senses, and the permanent facial expression of someone who heard a bush move and respected the bush very deeply. So modern humans should win easily, right? Maybe. But survival is not only a technology contest, it is also a nervous system contest. It asks who notices danger early, who stays calm, who shares food, who follows useful information, and who does not scream at a shadow shaped like lunch today. Ancient people practiced survival before breakfast. Their world did not have a comfortable setting called normal life. Weather mattered, tracks mattered, smoke mattered, silence mattered. A bird suddenly stopping its song could be nothing, or it could be nature sending a very rude notification about teeth nearby in the grass. A modern person might ignore that silence because they are thinking about rent, messages, or whether leftovers are still legally food. An ancient hunter might freeze, listen, study the wind, and decide that staying alive is more important than pretending everything is fine, while the forest acts suspicious around them. This is where ancient humans gain points. They were not smarter in every way. They were not perfect survival machines with dramatic hair and motivational cave speeches. They were scared, tired, hungry, injured, confused, and probably annoyed by relatives. But their daily training matched the problem better than comfort does. They knew discomfort personally. They knew hunger as information, not just inconvenience. They knew darkness without thinking the universe had forgotten to pay the power bill. They knew how a group moves, how fear spreads, and how quickly one foolish decision can turn into a very educational disaster for everyone. Modern humans are built differently, because our environment is built differently. We survive inside systems. Pipes bring water, wires bring light, roads bring help, stores bring food, hospitals fight infections. Satellites watch storms. It is amazing. Civilization is basically a giant invisible blanket we all live under every single day. But blankets feel different when someone starts pulling threads. If electricity fails, water pumps may stop. If roads break, food arrives late. If hospitals are overwhelmed, small injuries become serious. If communication collapses, fear fills the empty space faster than any official message can crawl through to frighten people nearby. That is the uncomfortable weakness of modern life. We are powerful because we outsource survival. Food is somewhere else. Water is hidden in pipes. Warmth is controlled by buttons. Direction comes from screens. Memory lives in devices. Even our confidence often depends on things we cannot repair by ourselves alone. Imagine a modern person dropped into Earth's final wilderness. They may understand climate graphs, asteroid probabilities, and solar storms, yet still lose a battle against damp firewood. Meanwhile, an ancient child might make sparks, find shelter, and look politely confused at the adult arguing with sticks for several tragic minutes. But before we crown the caveman champion of the apocalypse, we need one important correction. Ancient survival was not lone wolf survival. The toughest human was not a silent hero on a cliff, holding a spear against the sunset. First, the hair was probably terrible. Second, being alone was dangerous anyway. Humans survived because we were social. We watched each other. We shared food. We copied skills. We cared for children. We carried the injured. We remembered who knew water, who knew plants, and who should never be trusted near the only good spear, because accidents have patterns in every tribe. Around fires, people did more than stay warm. They turned experience into story. A hunt became a lesson, a storm became a warning, a mistake became group memory. Language made one person's danger useful to many brains. In a crisis, that may matter more than muscle or shiny equipment too. So yes, ancient humans might handle the first shock better. Darkness would not insult them. Hunger would not surprise them. A quiet night would not feel like a broken service. They might organize around fire, shelter, water, and movement, while modern people debate whether the charger is missing again somewhere. However, modern humans have a gift. Ancient people could not imagine. We have accumulated knowledge. We know about germs, nutrition, climate, radiation, engineering, ocean currents, food preservation, and planetary risks. We can predict some disasters before they arrive, which is like hearing the bush move from space very early indeed. A hospital is a cave with miracles. A weather satellite is a lookout standing on top of the sky. A seed bank is a memory palace for future forests. A water treatment plant is a tribe member who got extremely serious about not drinking invisible enemies from muddy puddles anymore ever. That knowledge is not a small advantage. It is enormous. It means modern humans are not weak just because we like chairs and snacks. We learn to store survival outside the body, in books, labs, tools, farms, networks, and institutions. Civilization is memory made physical for billions of ordinary people. The problem is that stored survival needs maintenance. A book helps if someone reads it. A tool helps if someone understands it. A network helps if people trust it. A plan helps if panic does not turn every person into a frightened squirrel, holding 3 bags of berries at once. This is where the real contest becomes strange. Ancient humans had strong direct skills, but limited global knowledge. Modern humans have enormous knowledge, but many fragile dependencies. If Earth broke slowly, modern science might save millions. If Earth broke suddenly, ancient-style attention might save the first hour before planning begins. And the first hour matters. People do not rise to perfect intelligence under stress. They fall toward habits, training, stories, and the group around them. If the group panics, fear multiplies. If the group organizes, courage spreads. Ancient tribes understood this without needing a leadership podcast in polished sandals either. Think about panic buying. It looks ridiculous from the outside, but inside the brain it is an ancient alarm saying, "Get certainty now. The basket must be full. The fire must be safe. The tribe must have enough." Modern stores changed the scenery, not the instinct deep beneath our polite behavior. Think about rumors. A rumor is often the tribe trying to map danger with incomplete information. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it becomes a monster made of guesses. Ancient humans needed social warnings, but they also needed trusted observers. Modern humans need the same thing, just faster and much cleaner information. Think about jokes during fear. That seems unserious, but laughter can be social glue. It tells the group, we are scared but still together. A caveman making a silly face beside the fire might be doing emotional technology. Not advanced, maybe, but surprisingly useful when darkness feels too large outside. So maybe ancient humans would beat us in raw survival. They might track water, build shelter, read weather, tolerate hunger, and move as a group. But modern humans could beat them in coordinated recovery, medicine, prediction, engineering, and preserving knowledge. If we keep our systems alive and honest under pressure, the best answer is not ancient versus modern. It is ancient plus modern. A nervous system that notices danger, plus a culture that checks facts. A tribe that shares food, plus a society that protects strangers. A body that can endure discomfort, plus science that prevents unnecessary suffering for everyone. If the world became unstable, the ancient brain inside us would wake up. It would scan, gather, copy, fear, joke, help, and sometimes overreact. The question is whether our modern mind would guide it, or just hand it the steering wheel, and hide under a blanket until morning comes late. That is the cognitive twist. Ancient humans might survive Earth's final days better in the wild. Modern humans might survive better with functioning science. But the strongest human is probably the one who remembers both truths. We are toolmakers, storytellers, nervous animals, and social creatures, trying to adapt together wisely. So what do you think? If Earth entered its final days, would ancient humans stay calmer because they lived closer to danger, or would modern humans survive better because we can turn knowledge into shelter? Medicine, warning, and cooperation. If we remember the ancient humans still living inside our brain,